Good morning, guys. How is everybody doing this morning? Welcome into the morning live. I want to say thanks to everybody who has come into the live and those who will come into the live afterwards. Welcome and good morning. Happy Sunday morning to you all. Now, this morning we are going to be this morning we are going to be continuing the reading of the book of Jeremiah. We missed out on yesterday's reading, but nonetheless, we will continue on this quest to read the Bible in its entirety from beginning to end. Those of you who are just discovering my channel or just joining, you kind of missed out a little bit because we have been coming from the book of Genesis and now we are on to the book of Jeremiah. And before I go any further, let me just preface I do not, and I repeat, I do not endorse any particular religion or any particular denomination on my channel. What I'm simply doing is reading the Bible for me, for us, so that we can be aware of its content. Because after all, many of us, more than 98% of us, can you believe it? There are so many people who claim Christianity, so many people who claim the Bible to be their moral compass, and yet they have failed to read the Bible. How could this be your moral compass, but you're afraid of reading it? Are you afraid of reading it? Are you afraid of what you might find? Are you afraid of its contents? Are you trying to hide behind some kind of an ideology? What is it? You shouldn't be afraid to read it, right? You should be willing to read it in its entirety from beginning to end. Or you got to be very selective and say, well, I won't read the book of Leviticus and I won't read the book of Jeremiah and I won't read the book of Amos, but I will read the book of Genesis or something like that. But if you're going to claim that the entire Bible is your compass as how to function as a human being, then it is on you to know the contents of the Bible. So if you've never read the Bible in its entirety, come with me and let us do this. If you're just joining, you got a long ways to catch up. But we will always be going back and reading and referencing what we have read already. Never mind, I got a little bit of the sniffles. Yes, walking in the Florida rain did give me a little bit of the sniffles. But we will move right along. If you have your book Bible or your Google Bible, come along with me. We are on to the book of Jeremiah, chapters 32 and 33. And just to recap what we read the day before yesterday. So the day before yesterday when we read, we discovered that the prophet Shamaiah, of whom the Bible spoke in First Kings, his name is referenced a few times in earlier chapters. Now, Shamaiah was one of those prophets that the kings would consult whenever they wanted to go to war or they had any big decisions to make. And now, just like in today's society, whenever a president has a desire to go to war, you usually see them call in the priests, the Pope, to find out what are their thoughts on this war. Should we go in or should we not? Is it the right time for us to go in? Will the gods be in our favor if we should go in to this war? We've seen that time and time again. There's usually a religious authority that is consulted. And that is not something new, because so it was back in the days. the leaders, the kings, would consult the religious authority to find out if it is okay for them to go into war. So it's no different. But we see where Shemaiah, who was one of the prophets, he was consulted by Rehoboam. Now, for those of you who are just coming and you don't know who Rehoboam is, Rehoboam was Solomon's son, to whom Solomon had bequeathed the throne. So, Rehoboam, after Solomon's passing, Rehoboam faced the challenge of his life because now he was a young man being given the responsibility of ruling over a vast territory in the region. This territory is the territory that his grandfather David had acquired and had subsequently bequeathed to his father Solomon. And so Rehoboam had a lot on his hand. And then here comes Jeroboam, a man who Solomon had exiled into Egypt because he had tried to overthrow Solomon. Now Jeroboam came back to Israel, claiming that the Lord had told him that he was going to give him a kingdom that's going to be greater than David's, greater than the kingdom that Rehoboam has now inherited. And so that saw the first divide in the kingdom. And with that divide, Rehoboam was thrusted into wars that he hadn't planned for. And these wars were to maintain the integrity of Israel. It was to maintain all this land and wealth that his grandfather David had fought so hard to maintain for the Jews. And so with that, Rehoboam thought, well, I've got to go to war. I have no choice. I've got to go to war with Jeroboam. But as always, before they went to war, they would consult with the religious authority. And the religious authority that Rehoboam sought to consult with was Shamaiah, the prophet. And he consulted with Shamaiah, saying, should I go up on this war? What should I do? What do you think the Lord's take on this war is? And Shamaiah returned to Rehoboam and said he had spoken with the Lord. And the Lord had told him to tell Rehoboam that it was not time for war. He should not go up to fight against Jeroboam. Instead, he should send back all his warriors to their tents, and he will further instruct them when it's time for war. So poor Rehoboam, he believed Shamaiah because he saw Shamaiah as a religious authority. Shamaiah. And he sent back his 180,000 warriors back to their tents to wait for the word from the Lord to Shamaiah, to him. Well, each time he consulted Shamaiah, Shamaiah said that the Lord said he should not go up. And throughout all this time, when Rehoboam was believing Shamaiah, that the Lord had told Shamaiah what Shamaiah had told him, the kingdom of Jeroboam was growing stronger against Rehoboam. And we know what happened eventually. So now in the book of Jeremiah, Jeremiah is saying the Lord has told him that many of these prophets and priests who had come in his name were liars. He had never spoken to them. They had never consulted him. He had no dealings with them because they had told lies in his name. And these lies had led to people's death and a lot of other atrocities. And they had come in his name, and he was not happy. And he specifically mentioned Shamaiah. Specifically mentioned Shamaiah. And I tell you guys, even though I have been reading and trying to retain as much as I can and going back and referencing and re-referencing, I never saw that coming. Honestly, I didn't see it coming at all. But if you go back, who is that? Winsome. Winsome, how are you doing, my love? Winsome, you see, I went to walk in the Florida rain, and now you see, I get a little bit of the sniffles, but that's okay. How are you doing today, my love? Good to see you. Winsome, we are on Jeremiah chapters 30, 32, and 33. Yes, guys. So I never saw that coming. When I heard Jeremiah say that the Lord had told him that the prophets and the priests had told lies and caused the kings of the Jews, the leaders of the Jews, to act based upon lies, I thought, hmm, that's interesting. Because all these priests and prophets that we have been reading about so far, everybody have come in the name of the Lord. Everybody have come. They have said the Lord told them this, the Lord told them that. They saw the Lord in a dream. They met him on the road to somewhere. They had some kind of encounter with him somewhere, and he had told them this, that, the other, and the third. Never before had I seen in the Bible itself that it's a possibility that these people could be lying. I've said it before and I got a lot of flack for it because people like, Trev, you go blaspheme. And trust me, I was raised with the fear of blasphemy. I am no longer, nobody can trick me with that anymore. To tell me that I cannot question a book that is supposed to be my moral compass, and I can't read it and compare the writings and identify the discrepancies and point them out. I'm going to blaspheme and I'm going to go to hell because I point out the discrepancies in the book that is supposed to lead me in life. Like, seriously, people. But anywho, I'm not afraid. I'm reading and I'm comparing, like I believe every human being who claimed to be a Christian and claim to be following the Bible should do. Them say because of climate change, as we as rainwater catch and thing. Well, something, Sister Winsome, because I'm in here all this time, I don't get sick. I walk out in the rain, I don't get sick, and down in Florida, I walk up and down in the rain, and boom, me get sick. Like, what in the world's going on? Them tell lion God name when God not tell them nothing. Exactly. 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 So here now I am asking the question is like, if Jeremiah can point out Shamaiah specifically in saying that Shamaiah lied, my question is, who else lied? I'm sure there are others. Because there are so many priests and prophets, like, wow, there are so many of them, and everybody is saying God told them this and God told them that. But everybody came with a different story. So that's what I don't understand. That's what made me first, and my antennas go up. I'm like, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Something isn't right here, because if everybody is saying the Lord told them this and the Lord told them that, why is everybody's account different? Why is everybody's story different? If the Lord is telling you something and telling me something, why isn't He telling us both the same thing? So now it is confirmed as to why. And with that confirmation, I feel delivered, from the lips of the people who said I was gonna blaspheme. I was blaspheming by saying that people. These people have got to be lying. But that was my observation. Now it's confirmed in the Bible. Let's see who is blaspheming. Sister Winsome, let us continue. We are going to start the reading of the book of Jeremiah chapter 32. And before we move right into it, we are going to read the last few verses of chapter 31 so that we can flow right into chapter 32. In chapter 31 and verse 28, it says, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the city shall be built to the Lord from the tower of Ananil unto the gate of the corner. And the measuring line shall yet go forth over against it upon the hill Gareb, and shall compass about to Goath, and the whole valley of the dead bodies and of the ashes, and all the fields unto the brook of Kidron, unto the corner of the horse gate towards the east, shall be holy unto the Lord. It shall not be plucked up, nor thrown down any more forever." That's the end of chapter 31. We are going to move right along into Jeremiah chapter 32. So get your book Bible or your Google Bible and come along with me, my friends. Jeremiah chapter 32. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord in the 10th year of Zedekiah king of Judah, which was the 18th year of Nebuchadnezzar. For then the king of Babylon's army besieged Jerusalem, and Jeremiah the prophet was shut up in the court of the prison, which was in the king of Judah's house. So here now Jeremiah is in prison in the house of Zedekiah the king of Judah. For Zedekiah king of Judah had shut him up, saying, "Wherefore dost thou prophesy, and say, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will give this city into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall take it." So here Zedekiah has shut up Jeremiah in prison, because remember in chapter 30, Jeremiah said the Lord told him that he shall hand over the Jews into the hands of Nebuchadnezzar, and Nebuchadnezzar shall rule them and use them and as he sees fit. And those who did not go by force should voluntarily go to serve Nebuchadnezzar, and they should stay there. They should plant their vineyards, they should build houses, they should take unto themselves wives and husbands and allow their children to do the same and live there as though they were living in Jerusalem until he comes to get them. Remember, that's what Jeremiah told the people, that the Lord had told him. Now the Jews were not happy with that. Yeah? Would you be? Imagine somebody coming and telling you, all right, we are in America, and here somebody comes and tell us, the Lord tells them to tell us that we all need to leave and go back to the country where we came from. Everybody should go back and stay there until he send again to call us to come back. Huh? So the Jews were not happy, and rightfully so. They were not happy with Jeremiah's prophecy that they should go down there. The Lord told him, why you want the people to leave their house to go to a place where they definitely know they will be in bondage, a place where they definitely know they will be slaves, a place where they definitely know that their rights as Jews will be violated. And you say the Lord told you to tell them that? No wonder Zedekiah is so mad at him and put his behind in prison. We are Lot Nation. How are you doing, my love? Good morning. Good to see you. Let us continue with verse 4 of chapter 32 of the book of Jeremiah. And Zedekiah king of Judah shall not escape out of the hand of the Chaldeans, but shall surely be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon, and shall speak with him mouth to mouth, and his eyes shall behold his eyes. And he shall lead Zedekiah to Babylon, and there shall he be until I visit him, saith the Lord. Though he fight with the Chaldeans, he shall not prosper. So imagine the Lord sending a prophet to give you bad news, to prophesy unfavorably against you. Would you want that person around? No, because everybody only wants to believe that when the word is coming from the Lord, it has got to be in their favor. Would you want to hear that the Lord sends somebody to tell you, oh, you're going to encounter a disaster in your family, somebody's going to pass away, you're going to become broke? Would you want to hear that? No, certainly not. So here, Jeremiah has prophesied that Zedekiah will be taken into Babylon, that Zedekiah's reign is in jeopardy. Zedekiah don't want to hear that. Would you? Certainly not. Verse 6. And Jeremiah said, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Behold, Anameel, okay, that was Ananiel. I was checking something here, guys, because in verse 31, in chapter 31 and verse 38, it had said something about, Behold, the days come, said the Lord, that the city shall be built to the Lord from the tower of Ananiel unto the gate of the corner. But here in chapter 32 and verse 6, he says, and Jeremiah said, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Behold, Hanameel, this is Hanameel, Hanameel, the son of Shalom, thine uncle, shall come unto thee, saying, Buy thee my field that is in Anathoth, for the right of redemption is thine to buy it. We unlock, what's up? How are you doing, my brother? So good to see you. Oh, why are you not sleeping? Oh, good to see you, my love. So here in verse 7, it says, Jeremiah says, the Lord told him, Behold, Anameel, the son of Shalom, thy uncle. So this Anameel and Jeremiah are cousins. You know, I make notes as I go along. They are cousins because Shalom is Jeremiah's uncle. And verse 8 says, So Anameel, my uncle's son, came to me in the court of the prison according to the word of the Lord, and said unto me, Buy my field, I pray thee, my field that is in Anathoth, which is in the country of Benjamin, for the right of inheritance is thine, and the redemption is thine. Buy it for thyself. Then I knew that this was the word of the Lord. Oh, you're at work. Okay, my love, I keep forgetting. Okay. Verse 9 says, And I bought the field of Anameel, my uncle's son, that was in Anathoth, and weighed him the money, even 17 shekels of silver. All right, so Jeremiah has bought this piece of land from his cousin Anameel for 17 shekels of silver. Let's see what he's going to do. What he's going to do with it. Hold on, guys, please. All right, let's continue. Verse 9. And I bought the field of Anamil, my uncle's son, that was in Anathoth, and weighed him the money, even 17 shekels of silver. And I subscribed the evidence and sealed it, and took witnesses, and weighed in the money in the balances. So I took the evidence of the purchase, both that which was sealed according to the law and custom, and that which was open. And I gave the evidence of the purchase unto Baruch, the son of Neriah, the son of Messiah, in the sight of Anamil, my uncle's son, and in the presence of the witnesses that subscribed the book of the purchase, before all the Jews that sat in the court of prison. So here Jeremiah is saying he bought the land from his cousin, and he made sure he had the witnesses to see the purchase exchange of him giving his cousin Anabil the 17 shekels of silver and taking possession of this piece of land. Verse 13. And I charged Baruch before them, saying, Thus said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, take these evidences, this evidence of the purchase, both which is sealed, and this evidence which is open, and put them in an earthen vessel, that they may continue many days. For thus said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, houses and fields and vineyards shall be possessed again in this land. Now, when I had delivered the evidence of the purchase unto Baruch, the son of Neriah, I prayed unto the Lord, saying, O Lord God, behold, thou hast made the heaven and the earth by thy great power and stretched out arm, and there is nothing too hard for thee. Thou shewest loving kindness unto thousands, and recompense the iniquity of the fathers into the bosom of their children after them. The great, the mighty God, the Lord of hosts, is his name. Great in counsel and mighty in work, for thine eyes are open unto all the ways of the sons of men, to give every one according to his ways, and according to the fruits of his doings, which has set signs and wonders in the land of Egypt, even unto this day, and in Israel, and among other men, and has made thee a name as at this day, and has brought forth thy people Israel out of the land of Egypt with signs and with wonders, and with a strong hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with great terror, and has given them this land, which thou didst swear to their fathers to give them, a land flowing with milk and honey. And they came in and possessed it, but they obeyed not thy voice, neither walked in thy law. They have done nothing of all that thou commandest them to do. Therefore, thou hast caused all this evil to come upon them. The amazing M&G sis, what's up? You wake up about time. How are you doing, my love? M&G, I was gonna ask you all if you all noticed. Did you all notice that since the day before yesterday, I noticed that on YouTube, all the videos start with 118 likes. Did you all notice that? I think YouTube's algorithm is acting foul. Yeah, I saw that Every single channel I've been on since the last 2 days, all their likes start at 118. Go and check it out, guys, and tell me if I'm the only one who noticed it. When you hit the like button, you're gonna see 119. Let us continue, guys. Jeremiah chapter 32 and verse 24. Behold, the mounts, they are come. Hold on. Hold on there, guys. Okay, I'm gonna read right here so again. Because oh, you have to go look. Okay. You take a look and you tell me what you see. Cause me know say my eye them now fool me. Let us continue, guys. Jeremiah chapter 32 and verse 22. And has given them this land which thou didst swear to their fathers to give them, a land flowing with milk and honey. And they came in and possessed it, but they obeyed not thy voice, neither walked in thy law. They have done nothing of all that thou commandest them to do. Therefore, thou hast caused all this evil to come upon them. Behold, the mounts, they are come unto the city to take it, and the city is given into the hand of the Chaldeans that fight against it, because of the sword, and of the famine, and of the pestilence. And what thou hast spoken is come to pass, and behold, thou seest it. Now, guys, remember that Jeremiah told the people that the Lord told him that he was going to deliver the Jews into the hands of the Chaldeans, Babylonians, one way or the other. He said they were going to be delivered by the sword, by famine, by pestilence. And if those did not work, well, those would work. But after that, those who were left, that means those who did not die by the sword and those who did not die by the pestilence or the famine, he wanted them to go down to Babylon voluntarily. Now here in verse 24, they're saying that it has all come to pass what Jeremiah has said. Behold, the mounts, they are come into the city to take it, and the city is given into the hand of the Chaldeans that fight against it. So here, the Chaldeans who were fighting against the Jews have now seized this portion of their land because of the sword and of the famine and of the pestilence, and what thou hast spoken is come to pass, and behold, thou seest it. Yeah, it's saying Jeremiah has lived to see his prophecy come to pass. And thou hast said unto me, O Lord God, buy thee the field for money, and take witnesses, for the city is given into the hand of the Chaldeans. Then came the word of the Lord unto Jeremiah, saying, Behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? Therefore, thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will give this city into the hand of the Chaldeans, and into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon, and he shall take it. And the Chaldeans that fight against this city shall come and set fire on this city, and burn it with the houses, upon whose roofs they have offered incense unto Baal, and poured out drink offerings unto other gods, to provoke me to anger. So remember the same thing that Jeremiah had said. The Lord told him was going to happen. He was going to specifically use the enemy to destroy the Jews because they had been so unruly and unfaithful to him. And here he says, every one of them is going to cause the Chaldeans to come into the city, to burn the city down, and burn the houses of everybody who is now praying to Baal and their other gods. These people use God for everything. They want to come and burn down the people's city. And they are using God as a cover to say he told them to come burn down the city because people are not serving him. But listen to that. People are not serving him, so he's going to tell the enemy, go burn down their houses, burn it down. So how are the people? Is there no path for redemption to turn the people away from, since their worshipping of Baal is wrong? Is there no path to redemption for them turning around and rejecting Baal? Their path to redemption is to burn all of them to death? People, really? Let us come to, and just think about it. Yeah, just think about it. Verse 30. For the children of Israel and the children of Judah have only done evil before me from their youth. For the children of Israel have only provoked me to anger with the work of their hands, saith the Lord. For this city hath been to me as a provocation of mine anger and of my fury, from the day that they built it, even until this day, that I should remove it from before my face. Because of all the evil of the children of Israel and of the children of Judah, which they have done to provoke me to anger, they, their kings, their princes, their priests, and their prophets, and the men of Judah, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and they have turned unto me the back and not the face, though I taught them, rising up early and teaching them, yet they have not hearkened to receive instruction. But they set their abominations in the house, which is called by my name, to defile it. And they built the high places of Baal, which are in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to cause their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire unto Molech. Now remember Molech? Molech was that one who would burn the kids alive. He took children as sacrifice. Yeah. Not just goats and cows and sheep, but your children. Let's read that again. Verse 35 of chapter 32. And they built the high places of Baal, which are in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to cause their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire unto Molech, which I commanded them not, neither came it into my mind that they should do this abomination to cause Judah to sin. So that was another abomination that the Jewish people were committing. They had turned their backs on their God that they say create their heaven and their earth and them and everything else. And now they were serving this Baal, and they were serving other gods, to include Molech, the god who required them, who they said required them to sacrifice their children. And this, Jeremiah is saying, angered the God who is the God of Israel. And now therefore, thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, concerning this city whereof he say, I shall be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence. Behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whether I have driven them. Remember, behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whether I have driven them in mine anger, and in my fury, and in great wrath, and I will bring them again unto this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely. And they shall be my people, and I shall be their God. And I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them and of their children after them. Verse 40. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, that I will not turn away from them to do them good, but I will put my fear in their hearts, that they shall not depart from me. Yea, I will rejoice over them to do them good, and I will plant them in this land assuredly with my whole heart and with my whole soul. For thus said the Lord, like as I have brought all this great evil upon this people, so will I bring upon them all the good that I have promised them. And fields shall be brought in this land, whereof ye say, it is desolate, without man or beast. It is given into the hand of the Chaldeans. Verse 44. And this is the last verse of Jeremiah chapter 32. Men shall buy fields for money, and subscribe evidences, and seal them, and take witnesses in the land of Benjamin, and in the places about Jerusalem, and in the cities of Judah, and in the cities of the mountains, and in the cities of the valley, and in the cities of the south, for I will cause their captivity to return, saith the Lord. So Jeremiah is saying, the Lord has told him that for the children of Israel to reacquire the land that he had given them. Now I want you to follow me, He had given them all this land to be theirs. But because they were so disobedient and not follow him, he had caused the enemy to come in and conquer them and take over this land. Land is power. So the enemies had come in and taken over all this land. So now Jeremiah said the Lord told him that now for the Jews to get back this land that he, the Lord, had given them, they now need to purchase it with money. Are you all listening? Now they need to purchase it with money. Him not give them nothing free no more. Him not give them nothing free no more. He had already given this land to them. But he take it back because he vexed. He is upset because they have turned their backs on him. So he's upset. He caused the enemy to come in and conquer them and take over all this massive land, all of Jerusalem, all of Israel. So the enemy has taken it over. And now Jeremiah is saying, the Lord say, if the Jews want back the land that he had given them, they now have to purchase it from the people, the occupiers, the people who had come and conquered them and taken the land. Let that sink in. So all this vast region, if the Jews want it back, they have to buy it. He's no longer gonna just give them any land. He's no longer gonna make them have to go to war and reclaim their land. They have to buy it back. They have to, for them to re-own it. They have to they have to purchase it now. Before they didn't have to purchase it because he allowed them. He told them this was their land. They got it for, essentially they got it for free. But now that the enemy has it, if they want it back, they gotta pay for it. And they got to record the purchases so that nobody can come back and say, oh, this is not your land. You have your papers. They said, put the paper, get witnesses as evidence to say, yes, you did give this person $2 for this square of land. And put that $2 in, not $2, but put the document in an earthen vessel where it will stay forever as proof of your purchase of the land, so nobody can come throw you off. This makes me wonder. This makes me wonder, guys. I wonder if, just say, I wonder if that could be a path to peace in the Middle East. The thought just came to me, like, I wonder if Israel paid the Palestinian for the land, if that will suffice and put an end to the constant warring and killing of innocent people. And that's just my thought coming aloud. But we are going to continue, guys. Got a little bit of the sniffles here. But that's not stopping us. We're doing what we're doing anyway. Let's move right along. We are on to Jeremiah chapter 33, guys. When some say along them people are war for land. Of course, it's when some land is power. People don't stop war over land. Land is power. So that's why the people have a war over it. David understood that. Solomon understood that. The younger generation of Israeli rulers, they never understand that. So they exchanged land. They did some bad investment. They exchanged land for warriors. You come into, you're sending 100,000 warriors to help me fight this person. I give you this portion of land. And when they do that, they don't get back the land. The warriors get killed in the war, but the land is gone. And so their power, they kept losing their power bit by bit, one bad decision at a time, until they were essentially non-existent in the region, in the land where their God had given them. And now, see there, them have to fight to get it back, or fight to keep it. OMG. But let us continue. We are on to Jeremiah chapter 33. Jeremiah chapter 33 says, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah the second time. The more that time when the word of God come to Jeremiah, this cannot be a second time. While he was yet shut up in the court of the prison. Okay, so this is the second time while he was in prison. Thus said the Lord, the maker thereof, the Lord that formed it, to establish it. The Lord is his name. Call unto me, and I will answer thee, and shew thee great and mighty things, which thou knowest not. For thus said the Lord, the God of Israel, concerning the houses of this city, and concerning the houses of the kings of Judah. which are thrown down by the mounts and by the sword. They came to fight with the Chaldeans, but it is to fill them with the dead bodies of men, whom I have slain in mine anger and in my fury. And for all whose wickedness I have hid my face from this city. Behold, I will bring it health and cure, and I will cure them, and will reveal unto them the abundance of peace and truth. And I will cause the captivity of Judah and the captivity of Israel to return, and will build them as at the first. And I will cleanse them from all their iniquity, whereby they have sinned against me. And I will pardon all their iniquities, whereby they have sinned, and whereby they have transgressed against me. And it shall be to me a name of joy, a praise, and an honor before all the nations of the earth, which shall hear all the good that I do unto them, and they shall fear and tremble for all the goodness, and for all the prosperity that I procure unto them. Thus saith the Lord, again there shall be heard in this place, which he say shall be desolate without man and without beast, even in the cities of Judah, and in the streets of Jerusalem, that are desolate, without man, and without inhabitant, and without beast. The voice of joy, and the voice of gladness, and the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride, the voice of them that shall say, Praise the Lord of hosts. For the Lord is good, for his mercy endureth forever, and of them that shall bring the sacrifice of praise into the house of the Lord. For I will cause to return the captivity of the land as at the first, said the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, again in this place, which is desolate, without man and without beast, and in all the cities thereof shall be a habitation of shepherds causing their flocks to lie down. Verse 13. In the cities of the mountains, in the cities of the valley, and in the cities of the south, and in the land of Benjamin, and in the places about Jerusalem, and in the cities of Judah, shall the flocks pass again unto the hands of them that tells them, saith the Lord. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will perform that good thing which I have promised unto the house of Israel and to the house of Judah. In those days and at that time will I cause the branch of righteousness to grow up unto David, and he shall execute judgment and righteousness in the land. In those days shall Judah be saved, and Jerusalem shall dwell safely. And this is the name wherewith she shall be called, the Lord our righteousness. Verse 17. For thus saith the Lord, David shall never want a man to sit upon the throne of the house of Israel, neither shall the priests, the Levites, want a man before me to offer burnt offerings, and to kindle meat offerings, and to do sacrifice continually. Now, I want to pause right there. Let's read verse 18 again. Neither shall the priests, the Levites, want a man before me to offer burnt offerings and to kindle meat offerings and to do sacrifice continually. Now you all remember when I said that this sacrificing, this continual sacrificing of animals day and night had to have been a contributing factor to the Jewish people turning their backs on their God. You all remember me saying that? No, here it is. Because I'm just being realistic, guys, and I'm just being practical. That there's absolutely no way you can get up from 5 o'clock in the morning and all you can think about all day and all night is whether or not you have breathed properly, whether or not you have walked properly, whether or not you have spoken properly, whether or not you have disciplined your children properly. All you can think about is the sacrifice that you're going to have to make if you have not done any of those things I said properly, according to the law of Moses. Wouldn't you be worn down? Anybody would be worn down. So here in Jeremiah 33 and verse 18, neither shall the priests, the Levites, want a man before me to offer burnt offerings and to kindle meat offerings and to do sacrifice continually. That's Jeremiah chapter 33 and verse 18. And the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah, saying, thus saith the Lord, if ye can break my covenant of the day and my covenant of the night, and that there should not be day and night in their season, then may also my covenant be broken with David my servant, that he should not have a son to reign upon his throne, and with the Levites, the priests, my ministers. Then say also my covenant be broken with David my servant, that he should not have a son to reign upon his throne, and with the Levites, the priests, my ministers. I gotta put another big question sign right there, my friends. We're gonna find the answer to that in a little while. But let us continue reading. As the host of heaven cannot be numbered, neither the sand of the sea measured, so will I multiply the seed of David my servant, and the Levites that minister unto me. Moreover, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah, saying, how Jeremiah said the Lord tell him this? That the covenant that he made with David will be broken? That David shall not have a son that reign upon his throne? And you know, when they say son in the Bible, it doesn't mean an immediate son. It could be a grandson, great-grandson, great-great-great-grandson. Let us continue. Moreover, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah, saying, consider thou not what this people have spoken. All right. Hold on one second, guys. All right, I'm back. Let us continue. Verse verse 22 of chapter 33, I mean. As the host of heaven cannot be numbered, neither the sand of the sea measured, so will I multiply the seed of David, my servant, and the Levites that minister unto me. Moreover, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah, saying, Considerest thou not what this people have spoken, saying, The two families which the Lord hath chosen, he hath even cast them off? Thus they have despised my people, that they should be no more a nation before them. Wasn't that what happened with the Jewish people down there in the land where their God had given them? Yeah, they were so cast out that they weren't even considered a nation anymore. That was, of course, before the reestablishment of Israel in 1948. Let us continue. Verse 25. Thus saith the Lord, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth. Verse 26. This is the last verse of chapter 33. Then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for I will cause their captivity to return and have mercy on them. Here ends the reading of Jeremiah chapter 33. And this brings us to the end of the reading for this morning. Before I go though, I'm going to read chapter 33, verse 26 again. Now this is what Jeremiah claimed the Lord told him. Then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David, my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for I will cause their captivity to return and have mercy on them. Listen to that. I will cause your captivity to return and have mercy on you. Why are those two statements so contradictory? I will cause the people to cause you to be in captive and I will have mercy. How is that having mercy? It is written. It is in the Bible. So for those of you who read without questioning, it is right there. I will not cause the seed of Abraham anymore to be the ruler over the children of Israel. Because remember, guys, all the people who have been rulers in Jerusalem, rulers in Israel, were descendants of David. And now here Jeremiah is saying the Lord tell him. He said the Lord tell him that he's going to cast away the seed of Jacob and of David, his servant, so that none of his seed will any longer be ruler over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So who is going to rule over them? The quote-unquote the enemies? The people who are not even Jews? Who don't even care to understand their history? who does not have the same interest, the captors, is going to cause to rule over them. For I will cause their captivity to return and have mercy on them. Yeah, you're gonna cause me to be a slave again, but I should be comfortable with being a slave because you're gonna have mercy on me. You're not gonna make him give me 4 lashes, you're gonna make him give me 2. Huh? Anyway, guys. Anyways, this is Trevor. I like to think out loud. You may not agree with me, and we may respectfully agree to disagree. But it's not just my thoughts here. It is what I'm reading from the good book. If you have some literature, if you have come across any literature that might provide us with some clarification, I would sincerely appreciate it. I would appreciate it. Because I don't think in this lifetime I will ever be able to, as much as I love to have my head in a book, I don't believe I will ever be able to read enough literature that's going to give me a good understanding about the way the Bible paints the God of the Jews. The Bible comes out, it says he is all loving, all caring, all understanding. But then you may be angry. There is no room for conversation. It's straight up death. Then I make the enemy take you over and control you and do everything they want to do to you because you deserve it for turning your back on me. But listen, I'm going to have some mercy on you. Anyway. And a lot of people are comforted of that mentality where they get comforted by being hurt and injured by whatever means. But they are comfortable with it because if it comes wrapped in religion, they don't mind dying. They don't mind losing their children. They don't mind. As long as that gift comes wrapped in religion. That's where I'm going to end my reading and commentary for today, my friends. That's going to be it from me for right now. Until we come back tomorrow morning with the continued reading. Of the Bible. We are on to the book of Jeremiah, guys. For those of you who are just coming in, when we come back tomorrow, we'll be reading Jeremiah chapter 34. So join me again tomorrow morning, same time, same place, where we continue to read the Bible for ourselves and apply our own human understanding to its contents. That's it for me for this morning. Once again, thanks everybody who came into the live and those who will come in to listen after the live has ended. I sincerely appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys. Until next time, this is Trev from Trev Essence, where your journey matters. Have yourselves a great day, everybody.